Hey guys, welcome to the all-new 2016 Honda Civic Touring Sedan. This is not the most interesting car you've seen me film. However, this is a really good car. If you're not a car person per se, or if you are a car person, you live somewhere like Los Angeles, where it's what we call a two-car culture. You have a daily and then a weekend canyon carver, because the conditions are extreme opposites here. We have our beautiful roads, and then we have the daily grind, and they never the two shall mix, as we say. But the Civic, you get in it and you almost can't believe it's a Civic. It is just so much better than the previous car. It feels light on its feet. It has a really nice interior. This, of course, is the touring version, which means it's fundamentally fully loaded. GPS, touchscreen, LCD gauges, two-tone leather. This gray leather, I actually think, doesn't look as nice as the optional tan and brown leather that I saw that looks a little more upscale. But Honda's, what they really do well is storage and ergonomics. This car has a lot of adjustments for the seat and stuff, but I mean, down in here, look, I got a big bottle of Fiji, and I could fit an even bigger bottle right down in the center console. There's like 5 cup holders. There's storage compartments all over, the 12 volt and the USB. And it just, in terms of a car, just a car, not a sports car, but a car, it's got really creative and useful storage solutions. I thought it was a hatchback, but it's not. It's just a regular trunk, but it's a big trunk. It holds a lot of stuff. The seats fold down. It's really practical. From a driving perspective, and we're going to go for a little drive here, this is the first turbocharged Honda to appear on our shores ever. It has 175 horsepower, turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and that is mated to a CVT gearbox, which us enthusiasts traditionally are not the biggest fans of, but for this application, it actually works pretty good. So they haven't even bothered with the fake gears. They've let the fake gears go. So there's drive, which is economy mode, sport, obviously sport, and then there's low. And low can be used to downshift and engine brake, although at the speeds on this road, I'm going to go from sport into low to keep the power up higher in the power band. Here we go. Yes. Well, not really. It does deliver power well. It's got good torque. It's got a nice mid-range. It's smart. It knows when to use what ratio, and I don't really have to think about it very often. The steering is very tight. It has good feel. It's not too heavy, but Honda does a good job with their steering racks, and this is a good one. The handling limit, I think, are probably the eco-friendly tires. You put some sticky tires on this thing, and we can really talk about handling. I went on a little mini highway road trip with it, and I got 40 miles a gallon at normal LA highway speeds with some traffic, and that's really, really good. So it's not crazy fast here, but it is nice and predictable and fluid. With the CVT, it always seems to be at the right ratio. It's figured that out. So when I get back on the power, it's just right there. It's holding between 4,000 and 5,000 RPM right now, right around where you're going to get your peak torque, which gives me good power coming out of these corners. Of course, I'm also downhill and using some gravity assist. These LCD gauges aren't the fanciest LCD gauges out there, but they don't need to be. That old school gauge they use, the 2-tiered thing, that just stunk. This is way better. Clear information, simple and effective, and you can scroll through the menus. This car is only $26,000 as it sits, so it's really competing with like a Focus Titanium, and I think it's about as nice as a Focus Titanium, honestly. And we have caught somebody. This is a good opportunity. Look, I'm going to turn on radar cruise control. Look at this, set. Cannot set. Oh, I can't do it in low. I have to shift to drive. So now we're at I'm not touching the pedals. Radar cruise control, and he'll let me by. So forget it. Thank you. But for this price, to have a decent radar cruise control setup is pretty impressive, and it makes for a really good highway car. I'm still in drive. That's not good. We'll go back to sport. But I took some non-car people to dinner in this thing the other night, and they were all amazed. They were like, I can't believe this is a Civic. And that's what they're going for. This isn't necessarily an enthusiast car, but I'll tell you something. If even I, who am about as diehard as you get in terms of sports cars and dynamics, I can get behind this thing, because on an everyday use basis, it's just such a nice, comfortable car. The radio sounds good, although, to be perfectly honest, if you bump the bass in this one, because it's a pre-production car, I think, there's a little bit of rattly from the trunk subwoofer area, but again, pre-production car. I did get in a production one very quickly, and it didn't have that issue, so until I hear otherwise, I'll assume that was solved for production. But, I mean, look, the kind of speeds that I can carry here. Oh, traction control is on. Let's go off. There we go. Stability is now off. Beautiful road. And the car is very, very predictable. I mean, you can hear the tires screeching a little bit, but they're not losing grip. They're just telling you, like, what might happen if you keep pushing it. And let's have a little prayer. Hopefully we can get by this this Jeep Cherokee, if he lets us by, please. Please, sir. Please, sir, may I have a pass? Please. I just want to get around and run some canyons. Come on. All right, if you're not going to let me by, I'm stopping. We'll pause. We'll be back. Here we go. Full throttle. It accelerates, and then it just stays at 6 grand. Nice immediacy on those brakes as I come in a little hot into that corner. But I love the predictability of it. I know I've been using that word a lot, but if you can't have a car with high limits, what you do want is a car with low limits, but they're very predictable. And so a car that, you know, might not be the fastest or best handling thing out there, but that talks to you and has good inputs and good feedback, that's a good car. And for what it is, this car is pretty impressive. It's carrying good speed through the corners. It's telling me that I'm going too hot with a little bit of tire squeal. It's holding the RPM so that I'm at the right power when I come out of the corner without having to shift. Now, it is a little sad that you can't get the turbo motor with the manual right now, but we have heard that that is coming in the coupe. In the upcoming coupe, you can get the turbo motor with the manual. Well, it didn't take long to catch this Jeep, did it? All right. Well, what else can we talk about with the Civic? Tall people can fit behind me in here, no problem. I'm certain there's more rear seat room than there is with the Focus. But again, as we reach the bottom of the hill and therefore the end of the road of the video, if you're not into cars, or if you are into cars but want a comfortable, practical, headache-free, no-nonsense daily driver, this is pretty awesome. This is a big winner, this thing. It's really, really nice. And unlike some of the Hyundai stuff and some of the Toyota stuff, you know, you can be a masculine man and drive this and not feel a little silly. Someone was making fun of me the other day, or making fun of the Hyundai Sonata, that it looks like a car that your wife made you buy. And that's totally true. And I looked side by side with the interiors, this is a much nicer interior than the Sonata as well. So I like the new Civic. I think you guys will like the new Civic too if you want just a regular car, just a good regular car. And that's what it is. Thank you. See you later.